Fantastic. So I've got a ball, and I just want you to roll the sole of your foot on your ball. Just for 20 to 30 seconds on each side. Get right across the middle of the foot into the sole of the foot. Fantastic. Okay, and swap feet. Whew. Oh, spiky balls wake you up. Okay, across the middle of the foot, right into the arch. Fantastic. Okay, you can get rid of that. So we're just going to stand and do some arm floats. And we're going to do a little bit then with the band as well. So just standing, have your knees slightly soft. Okay, nice neutral pelvis. So it means that your bum's not sticking out behind you and you're not dropping into yourself at the front. Okay, so as you come up with your arms, get to that top point and then just really drop your shoulder blades and squeeze your arms back a little bit more. And if you focus on having your ribs quite low and still connected to the pelvis at the front, then you will prevent yourself from arching. You'll not lose that connection at the front, okay? And you'll also get more of an activation in the shoulder blades at the back. Okay, so that's what you want to focus on while we're doing these. There's going to be 5 of these, breathing in as you come up. And as you breathe out, really getting into that front rib connection, drawing the shoulder blades down. Great, 2 more. So your knees should still be soft and there shouldn't be any tension anywhere else. And this is just an awareness of how things are moving. Good. Coming up, and then bring your arms out to the sides. Okay, so we're going to turn the palms all the way up to the ceiling and then all the way back round and up to the ceiling and all the way around. Good. I hope you guys, I'm sure you've still been doing this pretty much every day. Fantastic. Really get all that length from the shoulder. Okay, fingertips up, and I want you to really splay your fingertips out. Push your thumb forward, squeeze at your shoulder blades. As you breathe out, let all the tension anywhere else in your body just fall away. Great. Okay, small circles with the hands and the other way. Good, and fingertips up again. Okay, now point your hands behind you. So the palms away to each side as if you're pushing back a wall. And slowly bringing your arms down. Squeeze your shoulders up and let it go. Squeezing up and let it go. Okay, fantastic. Right, you should have a band with you. If you don't have a band, don't worry. Bring it. Okay. Use your band to come down to your sides. If you don't have the band, just follow that same movement that we were just doing and just really focus on your elbows coming down together. For those of you whose knees only I can see, can you kneel for me while you do this so that I can see your arms? Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, and then slowly coming back up. Good. So the focus is to keep the shoulder blades together as you come back up. You want your wrists nice and strong. Good. Shoulder blades staying together as you come up. Really focus on that movement. And last one. Awesome. Okay. Right, we're going to have the band behind us. So we are now going to lie down on the floor. I'm just going to re-angle my camera so that you can see and this can see. Okay. Fantastic. You all with me? So, coming down onto your back, I just want you to rock your pelvis forwards and back a few times. Just get a sense of where your movement is. Okay. And then find your neutral position. So that's a flat triangle between your two hip bones and your pubic bone. Okay. From that point, I want you to really try and flatten your lower ribs to the floor on both sides. Okay. And you want to try and really maintain that contact at the back all the time. Excuse me. But while you have that contact with the low ribs at the back, you want the top here at your chest to kind of lengthen up. Okay? So that's where you want that to be. I'm going to get you to, if you have the band, then great. So your band is, you're holding that to the top. Okay. Brace of tension in your lower tummy. Okay, so you get the gathering of the tension through here. So as if you have your two hip bones at the front pulling together. Okay, and as if you're going to cough. So that feeling when you get that tightness in your low tummy when you're going to cough, you want that. You want to integrate your pelvic floor. So especially as you breathe out, the pelvic floor is lifting. Okay, and the low ribs dropping. The diaphragm does its thing. Okay, so we're going to take both knees up. If this isn't comfortable for you to have both knees up, then just have one foot down. So you're maintaining that at the back. Okay, and I just want you to do dead bugs with legs only in this position. Breathing out as your leg lengthens away. Great. One more each side. Okay, take that last leg you did, lengthen it up with your foot flexed, and I want you to reach up with the band. So you're really folding the ribs over towards that side, okay? Everything else is staying neutral. Try not to tilt your pelvis too much to get that reach. Great. Let that knee bend. Straighten the other one. Coming over. Okay, so this is my weaker side, so I have to really focus, and you might find the same, that you really need to focus on keeping your hips level as you get the reach, because it should all come from your rib cage. Last one. Brilliant. Okay, and then let the bands go. Just try and stay in that tabletop position without any band. Now you're going to do the proper dead bug, so it's opposite arm and leg. So pelvis nice and neutral, lower ribs engaged with the floor, so your front of your ribs are more engaged towards your pelvis. So as you breathe in, you're lengthening your arm and leg away, and breathe out to come back. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, one more each side. How you guys doing? Fantastic. And just come into a little knee hug for a second. I need to check my sheet. Yep. Okay. So you can rock your knees from side to side. And if you take your knees slightly away from your body, it mobilizes further down your back. And the closer up you come, it's mobilizing like higher up in the middle of the top of your lumbar spine. So it's just a really nice way to massage that out. Okay, so now you're going to come back to your tabletop position. Okay, so now you don't want any grippy tension through your hip joints. You don't want any gripping through here, okay? You'll have some contraction here, but all the effort should be here. Keep that contact with your low ribs into the floor. All we're doing is holding this position and focusing on our breath. And I really want you to get your breath into the side of your ribs and into the back. And as you breathe out, you're really focusing on the lower ribs, kind of coming back down to compound that contraction in the lower belly. You can do some foot circles if you like. Just focus on the breath. Great. Okay, so we're going to hold this. We're going to go into a one leg extension from this point, okay? So you're going to take one leg away from you and out to the side and come back and in. So nothing else here should move. Go away from you, out to the side and back. Check in with your lower ribs. Keep them locked to the floor. Last one on each side. Fantastic. All right. Great. Okay, we're not quite there yet. So, what are all those feet doing on the floor? Stay up there. Right, so we're going to go into crunches. So if your back is really killing you or you're really struggling, then either just put one foot down just with your toes or both feet down with your toes. Okay, you can hold your neck in this position. And the crunch here is very, very small, okay? You're really just aiming to get your ribs kind of drawing down towards your pelvis and slightly in. So down and in, okay? And so all the movement is coming from this point of your body. Try and keep your pelvis neutral so you're not kind of tucking up, throwing your pelvis in your head to get the movement. and work on the eccentric phase. So as you come back towards your start, and you never let your head all the way back down to the ground, you kind of consciously, gradually let go of the muscle. So you don't come up and then come down, just completely letting go. You come up and you slowly let that muscle lengthen and let go. And you come up and you slowly let it lengthen and let go. Okay, 2 more. Great. Bringing your arms out to the sides. I haven't left myself very much room here. Okay, we're going to do, so up from this position, we're going to go out at an angle. So it's kind of like snow angels. So the legs going away and the arms opening up. And here you want to really, really connect your low ribs to the floor. And you really want to think about your pelvis staying as neutral as possible, almost with a tilt. So keep the legs moving as well. That's it. Okay, 2 more. And then come up to here, and you're just going to keep your tabletop position and move your arms. Give me a thumbs up if your tummy's on fire. Good, good, good. Two more breaths. Doing really well. Get your breath all the way down to your pubic bone. Okay, and feet down. Well done. Okay, coming onto your tummy. So we're gonna do Sphinx. You guys got me? Okay, so from this position, you want a nice neutral pelvis, okay? And the movement is going to focus up here, so above your bra strap level, okay, not below it. Most people will come up into this movement and it'll be all low back, but you really want to focus it around your shoulder blades, okay? So you get that shoulder blade connection first, and then it's almost like you're lifting your torso off the ground, your chest off the ground with those muscles between your shoulder blades. And then the rest moves as a unit. And slowly down. Okay, we're doing 5. So you're keeping an awareness of that connection at the front between the lower ribs and the pelvis. Because when you lose that, you just kind of sag towards the ground, and then you really pinch in those facet joints of your spine at the back. The facet joints are where 2 vertebrae kind of communicate with each other, and they get a bit annoyed if you overextend and you're always pinching in there. Okay, find that top position. You guys take your arms out to the sides. I'm going to make like I'm parachuting. And you want to hold this. Okay, leading with your elbows up and around, and around, and around. So it's a bit of a lift and then a rotate. Doing 5 each way, and then drop to a lower level. Keep the arms back. So if you Find that you're targeting the same places you were before. Drop a little bit lower. The movement is very small, so that you're really trying to focus the middle upper back. Okay, drive the hands forward. Come back down. Drive the hands forward. And come back down. And one more. Hands forward. Keep the hands up. Your nose is just above the mat. Three breaths. Great. Okay. Take hold of one foot. Okay, and just see what you've got from that side. See if you can lift through your glutes. It doesn't matter, like I'm obviously going to have a lot of movement. Don't worry if you don't. Okay, so that's what you've got on one side. Let's try the other side. I got less on this side. Okay, and drive it through your glutes. Get the stretch at the front. Okay, and then try, see what you've got both sides. Okay, so we're going to come up. Just try and push your hands, your feet into your hands. If you can only do this on one side, it's completely fine. Just really work within your own range and comfort. Right, see if you can kind of lift your chest a little bit more. Great. Okay, and down. Okay, bring your knees back up. Separate, so your knees out and your feet together. And we're just going to do lifts from there. So try and keep the tension between your feet. Brilliant. Okay, and then we're just going to do a little bit of back mobilization. So scorpions, so lift your leg and take this movement really slowly if you haven't done this before. This is quite an advanced movement. So you're lifting and you're coming over, and if that's all you've got, that's completely fine. Rowers, I want you to challenge yourself a little bit more. You guys should have a bit more of this movement. So you're really getting the activation in your hamstrings and your glutes. Coming over. One more. Great. Okay. Come onto your sides. So, okay, we're going to, we're just going to go into an adductor lift. So you can have your bottom knee bent so that your hip and your knee at 90 degrees. Your top leg wants to be in a straight line with your torso. So try not to have your rib cage kind of really pointing forwards. Get your lower ribs tucked in, engaging down in a straight line towards your pelvis, okay? Flexing your foot. You want your, like the knobbly bits, your hip bones stacked one on top of the other with some tension holding you in your pelvis, okay? So that lower core between your pubic bone and your tummy button wants to be engaged. And lifting. Doing 10. So make sure when you do this movement that you're not kind of flinging your leg up and it's all coming up into your waist. This should be very isolated to this point here in your hip, not up into your pelvis. I've totally lost count. I always do this. Okay, we're going to go backwards. So nothing else moves. Squeeze your heel behind you as far as you can without losing contact and balance at the front. Okay, bring it forward to about 45 degrees and come back. So this is one of the ways that we really begin to separate the pelvis from the hip. And this is very important when you're talking about your seat in the boat. So what movement comes from your hips and what movement comes from your pelvis and your back, you need to be able to separate that out. That means being able to control and be aware of each part. Towards the end of the session, we're going to have a little bit more specifically on losing and recovering your position through the pelvic tilt. Okay, no doubt that's 10. So then lifting, so hold the backward position, okay, and lift. Great, okay. Come back into this, to both knees bent, right? So you're going to come up from here, we're going to go up into a side plank clam. So you're going to be nice and strong out of this shoulder, okay? Come up, so the front of your body's in a straight line, and clam, okay, good. So we're going to do 10. So try and keep that connection of your ribs to your pelvis, okay? So that as you come up, you're not just pushing your belly forward. Okay, we're going to come back round, do the other side on everything in a minute, but I want you to come and do the plank. We're going to do a high plank because we're going to go into a down dog afterwards, and in between moving from a high plank, we're going to take a little jump, okay? So especially for the general public watching this video later, if you can't jump, don't worry about it. Just do a step or do small steps towards it, okay? But you find your own point of challenge and work with that. Okay, so with a plank, if you start, your hands shoulder width apart, your shoulder blades down your back, you're lifting your ribs down towards your pelvis. You got a nice pelvic neutral. They have really strong straight legs. Okay, from this point, you're pushing your hands and your feet into the ground. Five slow, wide breaths. A little bit of a knee bend. Jump forward. Great, okay. Take a half a step back. Keep your back round. And slowly, slowly, just trying to get your heels back. So this isn't the typical way to do a downward dog. Okay, we're using... I'm just trying to use the length of the back of the legs. We're going to do another one in a second. So from your feet, bend your knees. Okay, soften your elbows and draw your shoulders down your back. And then really try and keep the lower ribs kind of reaching for, at the back, reaching for the sky. Shoulder blades down, letting the low back arch, and you probably won't have much more than that in terms of length in your hamstrings. So now don't let that round your back. Just work your hamstrings alternately in the range that you have. So your low ribs are kind of reaching for the sky at the back. Your shoulder blades down your back. Nice neutral pelvis as much as you can, so like you're tipping your sit bones up to the sky. Great. Okay. Right, we're going to do the other side. So, here we go. Okay. That is all good. So the lower knee bent and the top leg goes straight. Okay. And you're lifting straight up. So you're a nice straight line. You're integrated at the front. Flexing the foot. I haven't got any room here to do my extensions. You guys carry on, do your extensions. I'm just going to hold an isometric hold into my sofa. So you're extending backwards for 10. So when you come forward, it's about 45 degrees. You're holding this neutral position, coming back. Forward, about 45 degrees, coming back. Good. Okay, I just want to check out a couple of people's form. Awesome. So your bottom knee should be bent up for stability and you're not kind of pressing forward in your front ribs. Good. When you've done that 10 on extension, you hold it backwards and lift straight up. Good. Okay. Good. Try and keep the movement up and down kind of quite slow and controlled. Fantastic. Okay, that's probably about 10. So we're going to go into side plank clams. So a straight line. Yes. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm going to bring myself forward. So you come up and clam. Up and clam. So you're nice and strong in your shoulder. And when you're in your top position, everything is in a straight line at the front, okay? So you're not pressing forward with your tummy. You're really lifting with these bits at the side.